Hey guys, my name is Trinity. If you're new here, welcome. Today I am here with Trey. Is that what you go by in these streets?
Sunset Trey.
So, okay. Here I'm with Sunset Trey. And you posted an article on your Instagram. What if friendships, not marriage, was the center of life? And I was very intrigued by that question because personally, I've been very interested in what it's like to not really feel confined by the English language or how to explain my relationship with someone. And that doesn't mean it has to be romantic. I'm talking platonic, friendship, acquaintance.
Right.
Sometimes, I don't know, even when people say acquaintance, I feel like I feel like that word has a little
It sounds
vibe.
It just sounds very
oh.
Distant.
Yeah,
acquaintance.
I guess. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't find that to be a very positive word.
What words do you use?
Bro, right now it's just friend.
Yeah, just friend.
But it's even okay. So me and AB, she's if I had to put our relationship in words, it's best friend. But I don't really.
You don't use that term either?
I don't really like the way that sounds. And I've been telling her this for months. She wasn't satisfied with it. But I've been telling her that I don't really like to categorize it because it's just we're just chilling.
Yeah.
A lot of people think we're having sex. We're not having sex. But
yeah, that's what people assume.
Yeah, people would assume because we're so close.
Yeah.
But
that's what a lot of that was in the article as well. Mm-hmm. It was just
people just making. Are you guys lesbians?
Yeah.
Are you guys gay?
Yeah.
You guys are. Both of them just so happen to be gay. Are you guys together? It's it doesn't always have to be like that. It's why does everybody want to it to be a certain destination when it isn't?
It doesn't have to be. That's the thing. It doesn't have to be a destination. It's just the enjoyment of it. It's just the appreciation of that person in your life. Just really just loving them for who they are.
How
vice versa.
How have you experienced that?
Have I experienced what?
Dating, making friendships like that.
Wow. I don't know. I don't know. I usually don't have to deal with too many projections from other people about what I have going on because I'm very transparent from the jump. Mm-hmm. But I think the word friend is just has this very broad, expansive definition to it, and you can make it out to whatever you want it to be. But yeah, people are gonna perceive it how they want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because I hate this question. What are you?
In what way?
Polyamorous.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a good question. Am I polyamorous? We were just talking about this at the Trip and Paint. We were saying how polygamy is more of a close thing that is one man.
Bro, polygamy is. I'm sorry.
Multiple. Yeah.
I have a bad perception of that.
Polygamy?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's that Mormon Utah shit. No, leave that shit up there. But
women actually have their own form of polygamy. It's called anagamy.
Don't
quote me on it. But yeah,
I'd like to watch a documentary about that.
Yeah. So
that's interesting.
Women have their own version of it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think I'm just a free individual. I don't know if I have a label for it. I'm free, and even in my involvements with the people that I do love, I'm open to move as I wish, and they're open to move as they wish as well. But I don't quote myself as being single or anything like that. I know that's a societal term that people understand. Oh, so you're single. I mean, sure, but I share love with people as well that I care about. I have people that I'm in love with, and does that make me single? I don't think so.
Man, I feel what you're saying, and it's having to navigate through life with this kind of mindset of just I am the universe having a human experience.
Yeah.
So I understand that, but it's difficult. I've reached a point in my journey where I'll be in public talking about something and I'm the person I'm speaking to is not
understand. They're not there.
Not there, and it's very interesting because it's well, fuck. Me, I like talking, so it's do I continue?
Yeah, do you continue or do you stop? You're I'm
sorry, little disclaimer, right?
Right.
It's very interesting because even when Well, where was I at? I was on the phone with AB and we was talking about You, the show on Netflix, and I just casually. You haven't watched it?
No.
That shit is insane. I just casually mentioned like the threesome like on the phone, and I was in IKEA. That's where I was at. And the woman next to me, I knew I could feel her energy. Just was like. And like I don't know, like to me, it should be a threesome.
Open, it should be an open conversation. Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying. So like all of these things that like even the article was encompassing was very interesting, because even like okay, the way I thought that the article was going to go about was I thought it was going to be like more statistical evidence on like what would happen if friendship was put above marriage. However, it was a lot of personal scenarios, people's not even scenarios, but like personal accounts from real life people who have had these kinds of partnerships with their friends, like and they also felt this inability to be able to put it into words. The best way that I seen in the article was she said boot camp best friend, which a lot of people understood it because boot camp in wherever, you know, whatever Army, Navy, wherever you are, is very intense, and so I can understand you forming a phenomenal relationship off of that intense setting. However, I don't always want to have to explain this shit to people. It's like I don't want to have to put it in a cute little terminology that y'all will understand. Like, this is who this is.
And do you have to deal with that like even within the relationship, or is it already understood before you form that connection?
Bro, that's another thing, because I love AB. I'm gonna just keep talking about her, but because she's really the only person I've experienced this with.
Okay.
But like she wasn't on the same page as me for a long time. Because of that, I'm just over here frolicking and free. And she said she was like, even when we first met, it was very interesting to hear your perspective on your spiritual experience, because she was like, I'm on the phone to you and I'm talking. I'm like, yeah, the government is doing this and the moon and Australia and the ocean and the, you know, hollow earth and shit. And I was like, that's cool. Like, how have you healed from your traumas though? Like, I'm just sitting there like looking at what's on the inside. For sure, and you know, our experiences were very different, and she's getting to that part now. She's doing really good, to be honest. But because of that, I knew that there was a difference.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure.
But like AB was like, she was like, nah, like you ain't like you're not like this is gonna be something that, you know, like our relationship will last, like our friendship will last. Because people who've done me like that before, I cut them off because they were just like not ready to face any of that stuff.
Did you yet. Like what are you saying exactly? What happened?
Okay, so in October of 2020, I want to say, this girl found me off YouTube, thought I was cute. We started like texting or whatever, and I remember she was doing the thing where I call it outside spirituality. Like it's outside
spirituality.
And it's the inside spirituality.
That's a great term. I've never heard that before.
So I was more focused on the internal and she was on the external.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that kind of, it was very interesting. She took me on one date, and the entire time that every few hours her parents would call her, and she would just like look at her phone, get annoyed, and like decline it. Yeah. And at the end of the night, I was like, so what are you going to do about your trauma with your parents? Like, that's a very big blockage.
What are you doing to actually
heal
work
from
through
that? Work through that. Yeah. I was like, that's a very big issue. And she was like, no, it's not. There's nothing I need to do about that.
No, because that's going to show up in y'all's
our relationship.
In many ways,
no matter what kind of relationship, romantically, friendship, whatever, acquaintance. But like, that was something that I had experienced and decided to steer clear from, because I'm like, you're not going to come up here and tell me you spiritual and all you want to do is talk about the moon. Like, you want to talk about reptilians. No. So that's been my personal experience, and I mess with.
Wait, do you usually cut people off when that happens, or
no? She did more than that. It wasn't just that. Like, she you know what else she did? She found out my full name and freaked out, which was very interesting. So, like, my full name is Trinity Faith Harris, but she knew me back then as Ren Faith. Okay. Yeah. So she was like my whole name is from the Bible. Like, it's very symbolic, and she like got frantic. Kind of like she knew I wasn't shit to play with. It was very interesting.
Oh, like that had some power to her.
Yeah, like it was very, she was a very big fan of Earth, Wind, and Fire too. Okay. So she like made it all connect with that kind of, stuff like that. And it was very interesting, like her perspective. But she didn't talk to me for like a few hours. Like she just kind of like was by herself, like to herself for a minute. And I didn't understand. She had, that's what she was doing. She lied to me. She kept lying to me about dumb shit that involved her parents. That's why we stopped talking. It wasn't just that. But, that's a big red flag because look at what it did. Yeah. It still affected the
connection.
Yeah.
It still happened.
The connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely. No, we definitely got to heal from whatever traumatic experiences have happened in our lives. That's why it's hard to just, it's so hard to actually, for me to be like, yes, I'm with you, I'm committed to you and to you only. It's like I'm on a journey for myself that I need to be completely involved in. And when I can show up for you is when I can show up for you, and I'm making sure I'm at my best. You know what I mean? At least the best I can be, for sure. But I never want to project anything onto anyone unconsciously. So I'm not gonna act like I'm ready for something when I know I'm not.
Which is good, but a lot of people can't even acknowledge that they aren't where they need to be. Like, if you want a relationship really bad and it's not coming, why? Like, I feel like you can simply ask yourself, like, why is it not happening in the timing that you want
that you want it to happen?
Because it's something to learn from. Like, everything is something to learn from. Like,
but that's a question I actually had. So why do we feel the need to actually? What does that stem from, wanting to have someone, or like wanting to be in a romantic relationship? Why do we want that? So many people want that. You get on Twitter, you get on Instagram. I just want to be laid up with my person and make money, or I want to be
cuffing season coming soon. It's getting cold outside.
I can't wait to have my person, and I'm just like, but why is that desire there? It's not a problem having it if it's there and it's right and it's divine. But the desire.
We are heavily influenced by absolutely everything. Like, even my first thought when you said that shit was watching Disney movies as a kid.
There you go.
That was always the BFD, the big fucking deal. Like, this woman, she's going through her own trials and tribulations. A man, an attractive man, the first probably fucking man she's ever seen. That's not her dad.
Yeah.
Like,
so the first nigga.
Here we go. Like, off to the races. Like, I don't know. Like, that was
that's
just
so
always
crazy.
seen
That
as the
happens
end goal.
all the time, and he's the savior.
Oh God,
type shit.
Like, bro, like Tangled. I love that movie, but that shit pisses me off, man.
I love that movie.
That shit irritates me.
Talk about it.
This bitch got out of a tower for her entire existence.
Yeah.
And the first thing this bitch did was get married to a nigga.
Oh yeah, that did happen. Yeah.
She got married. Like, that's how the movie ends. Like, look at that. That's where the article comes into play. Marriage. What if we put friendship over fucking marriage?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of shit would be very more equal. I feel like people would be happier. Like, I'm gonna link the article down below if y'all really want to read it, but I really wish it would have said more statistics about what could be.
Me too.
What could happen.
Me too.
Because I feel like that's research worth being done, because if friendships were put more over, I feel like people respect friendships more than they will respect the person, their partner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, in a lot of
situations. You mean like outside people? Or are you talking about
let's say
the person that you're with?
Let's say like the person you're with. Like, I'm basically thinking about how niggas hold their partners close versus how they treat women. Yeah. That's what my brain is thinking about.
Wait, how niggas hold their like you talking about their niggas? Oh, they partners. Not partners.
Not partners.
Partners. All right. Yeah.
Cause that shit is weird.
Don't even get me started, bro. Please. Oh my God. What if Future say, I ride for my niggas, I lie to my bitch? Like, it's just.
That's what that nigga said.
Yeah, he said that. It's just like
these niggas be gay.
Niggas love they niggas more than they love.
They do. They love the thought of women. They love the
sexualization of women. They love to lust women and then peace out. Peace out. I'm with my niggas. I'm gonna share the bag. I'm gonna share the joy. I'm gonna share the love with my niggas, the camaraderie, the integrity. But when it comes to the women, but
we can make a whole YouTube video about that shit.
Yeah, but see that's related to the article in the sense as well, because it's like with that it becomes that's there's no romance involved with your bros. There's a bromance, I guess, but it's not like there's no
like lovey touchy.
Yeah, it's no it's no conditional relationship or conventional relationship idea to that, romantic idea to that. So that's why niggas feel more free to be around their niggas. Like with their woman, it's like there's obligations, there's all of this, but it's like my thing is like we have to be aware of even getting involved with someone and not being transparent first and foremost. Because if you want to be free, I feel like everybody just wants to be free. All of us just want to be liberated. All of us want to be sovereign.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one wants to be told what to do. Just be aware of that. Like, be aware of your own freedom and be transparent with the person that you're getting involved with before you do that type of shit.
Yeah.
Because, like, niggas dead ass leave their woman at home and they do all that shit with their niggas, go out, you know, really enjoy themselves, and then they come home and they're not happy because they didn't confine themselves and agree to it, unconsciously agree to being in that situation, and aren't living up to it. But it's like you were living a lie in the first place because you never actually stated your true intentions. And you didn't know yourself. You didn't know your own intentions and what you wanted.
It'd be real simple. Like, we just be wanting niggas to communicate. Like, like, that shit's weird. Yeah. Because, like, that's literally the simplest. I gotta tell you about one of the first niggas that I was fucking with. Like, the first nigga I fucked with in years, after years of me not fucking with niggas. I gotta tell you about that nigga. That nigga was spiritual.
Is he spiritual or he's actually not spiritual?
Sorry, I did not mean to hit you. Like, bro, like, that's still the question that I'm trying to answer. He was spiritual, but I think it was that external spiritual. However, it was not that obvious to me. Like, his aura was gray. Like, that shit was always gray. It would have, like, flashes of purple sometimes. It was like...
What does that say?
Gray aura is secretive. It's like, it's not like a shield, because black is, like, the shield of protection. But, like, gray is just, like, you got secrets. It's mystery. Okay. It's interesting because when people would ask me, like, about him, I ain't had no pictures of him. I was like, I can't explain him. You kind of just got to meet him in person. Yeah. And he came, I don't know. I invited that nigga to my all-girl lingerie party.
Lucky him.
I thought that nigga was going to come. And he was like, all right, I'm on my way.
For sure. Hey, what's up?
That nigga pulled up.
I'm down for the cause.
That nigga pulled up, and everybody, like, all the girls crowded in my bathroom, and they were like, "Oh my god, I see what you're talking about." Like, it was it was funny as fuck. It felt like a scene from, like, a Disney movie.
So it started out well, so great.
No,
that's what it sounds like.
It started off cool. Oh, it wasn't. The nigga didn't take me on a date.
Infatuation.
I did.
Right?
I was definitely infatuated with him. I was definitely interested. Yeah. In, like, what he was gonna. Not even that. I knew he was gonna teach me something. Because even in the moment he asked for my number, I was like, this nigga is about to teach me something. He looked interesting. He dressed like a Leo. He's a fucking Leo. Okay. He looked like... a Sagittarius. I loved the nigga. He was a Leo sun, Aries moon, Sagittarius rising. That's fucking terrifying for one. But, like, the way he presented himself was very... I love niggas who know how to dress. So, like... Niggas who know how to dress and, like, they look cool. Like, he had tattoos and shit. It was different.
I'm trying to see when this goes downhill.
Bro, it was just like he never, like, invited me anywhere. Like, I never knew much about him besides what he would tell me, like, randomly. Like, the first time we hung out, he came over my house and we watched... Have you seen Above Majestic? No. It's a documentary about reptilians. The shit was actually pretty fucking
This is what we were talking about last time we were hanging
Probably. I'm pretty sure I did tell you about that. Yeah, then you said they took that shit off Hulu. Yeah. But, like, he was very interesting. However, he didn't take me out anywhere. I didn't know much about him at all. I had his Instagram account, or so I fucking thought. Come to find out, he gave me his art account. This nigga had a whole main account. This nigga had, like, actual pictures of himself. That was another reason I couldn't show people pictures, because he didn't have any pictures of himself on his art account. He knew that. Like, he never told me what his main account name was. Like, he kept that shit. And it wasn't like he had another girl or anything. Like, it wasn't nothing like that. It was just like...
He's a secret?
It was the trauma. I could tell when these niggas want mothers, okay?
I can tell when these niggas want mothers.
These niggas be wanting...
That's a word. I didn't...
And it's... I noticed that the main times that I would see flickers of, like, affection coming out is when we would be, like, cuddling in my bed.
Oh, is that the only...
Those were the main
way it showed up?
That was really the main ways that he would show affection. Like, he would say weird shit like, you know, this isn't gonna last forever. He told me that shit one time. Oh. And it wasn't anything that I wasn't like, and that's me. Like, I'm not pressed. Like, I'm experiencing you. Like, I'm not finna be devastated if and when this does end. But it was interesting for him to say that.
Yeah, that's what I'm...
But
yeah.
I think he was talking to himself more than he was talking to me at the same time. I can tell when people are doing that. Like, he's like... he felt he was so used to losing that it just seemed like... I feel like it just seemed like I was too good to be true. The first time I told him I liked him, he was like, "Do you like me?" And like, I felt like I was in fucking middle school. I felt like I had to check a yes or no box, but I was like, yes, and he was like, "Why?" Like, he asked me why, and I'm like, "Why do I keep getting niggas that don't feel like deserving?"
Yeah.
Like, why? Why don't you feel like you deserve a bad bitch like me? You know what I'm saying? So, so that was a lot of the issues, and it was like subliminal things like that build up.
Are you good with okay? And where did it ultimately go? It led to y'all. No, not that. It led to y'all. It led to you separating from the situation.
How did it end? I think I just stopped like hitting him up.
It was an energy you weren't feeling.
Oh no! The longer it went on, the less I was feeling it. I'm like, nigga, you ain't taking me out. Like, you ain't... I don't know your friends.
Don't know your friends. It's just too secretive. There's not enough transparency.
Exactly. And the thing was,
honesty.
It really did work, though. He really could have made that shit work. Because me, I don't want to talk to you all the time. We would go 2 weeks and not speak. Like, but he would call me, and I'm like, what's up? Like, you want to come over? Type shit. And it was fine with me. Like, I'm not tripping. I'm not stressed. I don't need to feel... Like, I don't need to feel like... Like, I wanted him to like me how he naturally liked me. I didn't want to be like put in this spotlight, like. But I'm just saying, like, cool shit like us. You invited me out somewhere, and then it got to a point where the nigga would call me like after midnight, asking like if he could come over, and I'm like, no. Like, that's when it was starting to piss me off. All
right, last question. What do you think he wanted out of the relationship? I'm trying to understand, why was he there?
Interesting we're talking about this because me and her were talking about this literally yesterday, and she said, I think he knew you. Like, she thinks that he already knew who I was because, like, he didn't seem like he knew me from YouTube. You know, back then, like, that's when, like, people still recognizing me, of course, but that's when my channel first started blowing up and niggas was recognizing me everywhere.
Okay.
So it was very interesting to hear her perspective on that, because she's like, I think that nigga knew who you was and tried to play that shit real cool and, you know, like, fuck with you. However, before she kind of hit me with that, I was thinking about this myself, and I feel like, of course, I was in his life for a lesson. Like, I was definitely teaching him shit about himself as he taught me shit about myself. He made me realize that I missed my father. And, like, not miss that nigga for the person he was, but I missed the fact that he was absent. The fact that I didn't really have a father growing up. Like, the nigga was a pain in my fucking ass if he's watching this shit. You know, like, he was very symbolic for me like that. I know I was symbolic for his mom. I know I was. And I feel like, if that nigga did not know, he also don't seem like the type to really be like, he's not the type to hit on girls. Like, I was the first girl in years that he had
actually reached out and
yeah. So it's like, I feel like it was an impulsive move, but it was his subconscious mind, like her. You know?
Like her?
Like her. Like,
oh.
Like, yeah, like, as in, like, he seen me and was like,
yeah, he pursued
something
you for sure.
Has to, like, I have to say something.
Okay.
You know, it was very interesting.
It was very. I still have many questions.
It was
towards this situation.
No, we can talk about it later.
It is not clear to me. What the fuck?
I gotta show you a picture of him too. I'll show you a picture of him.
All right. Okay. So, so we do agree with the headline of the article.
Yes.
Yes. And what are our personal thoughts on marriage? How are we feeling about it?
I never saw the point in marriage. Like, I never felt like I needed... For one, I thought it was just a piece of paper in the government. Fuck the government. Also,
fuck the government.
I never felt like I needed a sheet of paper to validate my love for someone. So that was my main argument. Apparently, there's, like, taxes and bank and money involved.
Yeah,
like,
it's a license.
Yeah, like, I didn't understand that aspect of it. So I don't... Like, for one, I know some people get married for the benefit of it. Like, I guess... Well, like with
legal reasons, right? You get extra money for certain things, right?
But
like little shit like that.
I have no desire to, like, yes, daddy, please, to the government. You know what I'm saying? So I just never. I never saw the purpose in it, and I just, I don't know, I don't really daydream about, like, me being, like, 30, 40, 50, but when I do see myself, I just see myself looking dope as fuck, tatted up, long-ass locks, yoga pants every day, probably with a fat-ass stick, just, like, hiking and just going about and traveling the world.
Yeah.
Like, I
don't see the white picket fence.
Yeah, and kids running in the front yard. Like, no, what about you?
My thing is, like, with marriage, I mean, I feel like I would never marry someone because I love them. Out of just loving them. Let me say that. Of course, I would have to love them if I'm gonna marry them. But it can't just be, oh, I love you, so we're gonna get married. That doesn't equate. Like, people do that all the time. I wish I could understand why. Maybe I need to ask someone who's married, like, why they do that. But what does that have to do with me loving you? I don't know. We can have the ceremony. We can show our friends and family if that's what's important to you. We can do that. We can have the ceremony, but, like, signing the paper and getting the state of whoever involved, state of Georgia or the government involved, because that it becomes, it's not between just you and me, that person anymore. Yeah, it's like it's you and that person in the government.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know. Now, legal reasons, I guess I get it for whatever reasons that may be, financial reasons, economic reasons. If I could see the purpose in it, then I would get married for that reason, along with loving the person. But that's it. That's really it. What traditional belief systems
do we still uphold in relationships that we maintain?
In our romantic relationships.
I feel like, why do I want to say jealousy? Why is it the first thing that comes to mind?
You have a jealousy.
I don't want to say I do.
In your body?
Honestly, well,
or multiple bones.
A little bit. Like, I haven't experienced this full-fledged, but there's a period where, like, all of my friends were being polyamorous, and it was very interesting because they went through a period of doing that shit for like a month, and then the first partner that came around, they was like, I'm like,
niggas be like that, yeah.
We were supposed to go to a sex club, like, what happened? And I'm the only single bitch out of them, so it was a little different, but I was interested in trying it out. And my thing is, like, I don't even want to say it was polyamory. I just wanted to experience things firsthand, with, you know, the person or people that I, you know, we choose each other and shit like that, and that just be it. Like, I didn't feel like it was important to like, label it or tie it down, or just, like, even, like, get a outline of how this is supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? So that was something that was very interesting for me, because while I say that, like, I want to learn how to get rid of jealous, like, feelings, like, on the inside.
Well, you practicing polygamy or polyamory?
I say polyamory, right? Yeah.
You practicing open relationships.
I've never experienced it
because you weren't, like, with that person.
I wasn't with anybody.
You wasn't with anybody.
Yeah, but it's something that I would be open to.
So you want to accept that challenge that's going to come with you having to feel those, you know, those jealousies or insecurities?
I would like to see how it goes, because I could say yes right now and then get in it and feel different. And it's not like something that I feel like that would make sense, you know? Okay. Like, I feel like as long as, like, I would talk it out with my partner, you know, like, then it would be what it is. Because I might get into a relationship and they make me feel 100% comfortable with it. Yeah. And it is what it is, you know? Yeah. Because, like I say, I'm just experiencing. Like, I think that another thing of my concern would be, like, safety reasons. Like, sexually. Yeah. So that would be a big deal to me as well. Like,
that's why I make sure I involve myself with people who aren't just, you know, just everywhere, you know? Pussy here, pussy there, pussy everywhere. Of course, if that's what you want, liberate yourself. But pussy tree. But, you know, I value meaningful relationships. So if you have a meaningful relationship with another person outside of me, I'm gonna honor that. I can't honor just lust. I can't just honor just sex. But I can't honor you loving someone else, because I support that. We need more love in the world anyway. So I'm not gonna be greedy. Yeah. With that.
That makes sense.
I don't know how I got to that point. Well, I think I do. I've had a lot of shroom trips in my life, and it's just deconstructed. Okay. It deconstructed a lot of my programming. Okay. And then especially a lot of perspectives that, like, we as men carry. We can be very possessive, but I'm not at all. Like, I don't really I just want everyone to be free. I want to be free more than anything, so I definitely want to allow my partners freedom.
Have you ever had like a long term like, wait, how long have you been on your journey?
What journey? A spiritual journey? Since 2013, I believe. Since 2013.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you how long have you been experiencing it like that?
With relationships?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Since 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's. Were you gonna ask another question?
Well, no. I was just thinking because I'm like, have you ever experienced something that was the opposite of that? And like, what was that experience like?
Even with that one, I never had been in a relationship. I was quote unquote becoming conscious, becoming aware. And I was like, I want a girlfriend for once. I saw a girl that I was working with. I was working at Walmart at the time, and I was like, I like her. Let me pursue her. And but also no, I met her lifetimes ago. Like I saw her eyes, and I just knew it was just a familiar situation. But anyway, like I was navigating that situation in a very loose kind of way. I'm not good with terms. Not good with just like placed identities on situations. So it was never like, oh, you're my girlfriend, but I was like, I'm mutually exclusive to just you. And I was on one level, she was on another. Long story short, it just didn't work out because we weren't on the same frequency at all. But that's really like the only long-term relationship I've had that was like monogamous. And I'm gonna be honest, like I wasn't necessarily loyal in the situation.
Wow.
But
cheater, pumpkin eater, head ass.
It was a whole different me. It wasn't me now.
Yeah. Because I started mine. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
No, just dishonesty isn't. That's not the move.
Yeah.
Guys, don't be honest.
Yeah, I started my journey at the start of quarantine. I mean, I always knew some shit was up. Like I came out the womb in church. Like what the fuck these niggas talking about?
Oh God, yeah. Like what the fuck is this? Like what you mean I can't leave? Like why are we here?
Bro, that shit was ass.
Oh my goodness.
Fucking church was ass.
Oh my God.
That shit was just.
I got PTSD from being in church. I think I got lifetimes of PTSD from it. Though.
My grandparents were the ones that was preaching. Niggas saying the same sermon every week. Like.
Damn.
You made the same joke last week and everyone's laughing?
Yeah.
Why is everyone laughing? Like, this shit... I can understand the first week, but the second week, you made the same fucking joke?
They were preaching the same word? Is that what was
Nigga,
happening?
like, yes. Like, it would be the same shit. Bro, tell me why. One time, I went to my... This was years later. I was, like, maybe, 14. I went to my grandparents' house. Their new house. He had a tablet. Tell me why I went on a tablet.
Damn.
But anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about. My journey started at the beginning of quarantine. So, that was kind of when I was very much, I found out about manifestation.
Your spiritual journey started last year?
2020. Oh, shit. Yeah, that was in
March
of last year. That's when my shit started. And I remember... I was looking on, I don't know what I was looking at, but I was on YouTube and I came across Shanetta Divine Tarot. She had a video talking about manifestation. I'm like, I was like, create the life you desire. How to manifest. The fuck is this shit talking about? Click that one video, changed my whole life, man. I went to Target that day and bought a journal. It's actually that same journal down there. I got propelled into this from a heartbreak, and that was the last relationship I had where it was not me putting my spiritual self first. So I was experiencing exactly the kind of relationship that you see in black struggle films.
Damn.
But it was homosexual. So the girl I was dating, she was not in touch with herself. She did not understand that her childhood traumas were very much affecting us. And I didn't understand either. People said that I had an attitude problem growing up. And because of that, the way my family presented it to me was very shameful. So I couldn't comprehend, the way that I say some words might come across as, I'm mad, but I'm not really mad. I'm just saying...
Just passionate.
Yeah, passionate, definitely. So that definitely was... That experience, I don't remember a lot of it. That's trauma for you. I don't remember me really dating her.
Okay.
like much of it at all.
Yeah, I was about to ask, who were you before the spiritual journey
bro,
took
people,
place?
AB loves.
Because you were doing poetry and shit. I just felt like you were very introspective still.
I know. Fuck yes, I was. I very much was, but I wasn't. Like, I didn't understand that I had control over my reality.
There we go.
So it's like I knew all of this shit. I knew what was going on. I knew that this was a simulation. I just didn't understand that I could do something about it, which is very interesting because my whole life people were like, "Oh yeah, this is the bitch that's gonna do something about it." You know?
They saw it, but you,
yeah, I didn't understand that I could do it. So, who I was before this? Well, I was definitely Ren. That's the name that I went by because I hated the name Trinity because it made me only think of Christianity.
Damn.
And then like that was the biggest deception.
Damn.
Right there.
You never believed in it. Like what? Christianity. You were never.
Bruh,
did you ever give it?
The only way I believed in it was through fear. Like
that's so fucking sad.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are still.
A lot of people are like that. Like the only way. And the one thing I had the hardest problem with was like I never understood what is it? Like my mom would be like God talking to you. Like you hear that voice in your head when you're making decisions. Like I never heard it, so I didn't understand what that meant. But one of the
like,
main
nothing going on.
The main thing I struggled with when it came to religion was like how God would feel about me if I turned away from it. Like that was the one, and that's that people pleaser shit. Because I would always put people's feelings and how they would look at me first before I put what I really wanted to do with my life first. People pleasing shit, Libra moon shit. So that was my main thing. But I struggled with that when I was like 13 and then it was over. So like I was just like, fuck it.
What was it at that point when you were 13?
I said I was atheist. I was saying that I was an atheist.
Same. That's how I started out.
Atheist, agnostic, whatever.
That was the transition for sure.
Yeah.
It was this website that was like godisimaginary.com or godisnreal.com. And bro, when I tell you, I was reading that.
Wormhole.
Huh?
I can see you in a wormhole.
Bro, tell me why I read that website and I was in my room pacing. I was like, this is making so much sense. Like, what is going on? Like, this is crazy. But what about everything I've been taught? But this. And I was just like, damn. The first thing I did was I went to my friend's house and I was like, bro, God isn't real. We've been believing in some fake shit this whole time. And my friends it was like 3 of my niggas, they were sitting on the couch like, nigga, what are you talking about? Like, what? And then eventually, as I was talking about it, one of my friends was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. He's like, bro, you know what, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I was thinking about some shit. And I was like, all right,
bro,
here we go.
But no, niggas did not want to talk about that shit. Yeah. I'm glad that we're able to talk about that shit now. Yeah. But like being a kid and not having like an outlet it shit sucked.
Yeah, it really
it's
did.
Like, and then
it really did.
It's like the black churches, they want us to be Christian so bad, but why do white churches be way better?
What you mean? Yeah,
you never went to no white church.
I think I went to one white church. They were very organized.
Hey man, if you're a Christian out there, I'm gonna shout out Buckhead Church in Atlanta because nigga, I'll go back to that shit.
What did you like about it?
Just say, nigga, for one, the shit was huge. Like,
should be huge.
No, they be big as that was like one step away from being a mega church. Okay. There was a main congregation, like the main auditorium where all the adults would go, and of course the kids can come too, whatever. But they had different floors. They had like infant to 5 level, 5 to 10 to 13. Then they had the high school level, like all the I used to go up there.
Damn,
it was like
it was
giant escalators to each floor that was like a different theme. So the kid theme was like jungle. Then the high school theme, it was like a fucking rock concert every time I went in there. I can show you. I can tell you. I can pull up some old footage.
Did Disney
of me going
sponsor
to that
this shit? Like,
God, like
damn,
man, white folks love some church like Jesus that. And Christ. It's like I remember every time I would go on a Sunday, they would have it was like a literal concert. They would take apart the different like laser lights and the smoke machines, and they would rearrange it and do different colors for like each song. So it was like insane graphics. Like, damn, who is working the stage? They had free
I would have liked
food.
church if that was the case.
No, on God. And
church is fun.
The message is always God is a house on a hill or like some shit like that.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know, but that shit ended in exactly an hour. And
Hell
that
nah.
was all that
Look, that would have been my church.
all that mattered. Like,
Because Black Church got me fucked up, nigga. We playing the same song for 20 minutes straight because niggas keep catching the Holy Ghost.
Niggas walking out of a fucking wheelchair and shit. They keep passing the bucket around.
Yeah, they passing the bucket. Niggas puking. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I meant like the money bucket.
Oh, the money bucket.
But,
they passing that bucket too because niggas puking, having exorcisms. We're getting off subject, which, it is what it is. But I have lifetimes worth of PTSD from Christianity. Not even just Christianity. It's what Christianity represents. It's the fact that this belief system that you're not your own savior, that you aren't responsible for your own power and for your own saving and for your own salvation, that's what I have PTSD behind, that conditioning or that thought process, because like that'll trap you for lifetimes. You don't recognize your power, you're gonna be in the cycle of life and death until you realize your power and like reclaim your eternal self. So that's what it was. Like when I woke up from it, I just can't tolerate it. I know some gospel music got that soul. I know it'd be good, but it's the energy behind it where I can't even play it because it just sounds very very limiting. That too. And it's like, but it's like, give that energy to yourself. You're too busy, like,
that was a big issue that was a big issue for me too. Like the pointing outward. I was like, man, if these niggas taught me that it was in me this whole time, I would have been on this shit. I would have been did this work. I would have been conquered these trials. Why you been telling me to look for something? And that's another thing, bro. That's how a lot of shit profits, man. If you looking outward, niggas looking at on the internet, TV. Oh, my hips too big, my stomach too fat. Let me go spend money to get this to make me beautiful. Like, nigga, what? Why are you always looking outside of yourself? Like, that shit is irritating to me. Yeah. Like,
it's stemmed in that.
That's different.
It's definitely centered in that.
That's different.
What are the potential pros that you feel marriage has over a friendship, if any? Do you see any pros?
I don't know. You know what's very interesting? I've not seen a healthy marriage, so it's like I don't want to be the nigga that's sitting here bashing marriage, because some people really do like, have it in the bag. Yeah. But I feel like most of what I'll say will be very negative, and I don't want it to be. It's just like that because of what I've seen. Gotcha. I barely know married people, and the married people I do know, they ain't shit. They ain't and shit. If they ain't shit to themselves, then they definitely ain't shit to other people. It's always one or the other.
Okay, so we're gonna say none because I don't know.
You don't know any.
I don't know. I mean, no, I'm saying I don't know any pros that marriage has over friendship. I think it's just
and don't say sex because.
Yeah. Oh well, mentioning sex. Okay. Do you feel like sex jeopardizes a friendship?
Bruh, it definitely can. Been there, fucking done that. Same. Been there, fucking.
Been there, fucking.
But it can definitely mess shit up, and it has. I've experienced it.
Yeah.
People either get too comfortable or like they get too clingy. Like they want to box you in. They want you to be mine.
Yeah.
I mean,
but say even if you don't have that and they do respect it or whatever, y'all are open. You know what I mean? Y'all cross that line. Y'all been friends for quite a bit of time before sex actually takes place. Something different. It's just, I can't explain it. Something happens where it's like the emotional dependency or something just changes, and it's not necessarily for the better. I can't say. It's just, it goes to this place where it's like, I feel like you can have sex with your friends, It is a potential jeopardizing situation, but if there's an understanding and there's transparency and there's honesty within it before y'all even cross that line, then things should be okay. No, it shouldn't be an issue. That's my gist on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are people able to go back to? Have you ever been able to go back to friendship after having sex with someone who was a friend?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And it worked? It was no problem?
I mean,
Things,
yeah.
Things felt different or no? Things felt this, like...
maybe different at first, but the longer the friendship, it's fine. Yeah.
Say less. Say
It'll
less.
be good. Yeah.
Say less. I think I have a question about, like, I wish we had a married person in here.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But, like, I guess my question is, like, what to do if your partner feels jealous of the amount of closeness you had in your friendships. I think you can just answer for, like, a friendship. I mean, just a relationship perspective. You don't have to be married. But I think if I'm... That's why it's so tough. That's why I don't actually... That's why I'm so afraid of being...
Married?
Or just, like, mutually exclusive with someone, like... At this in this time period, because I need
freedom.
That, but like my friendship, the friendship I'm having with that person, or the connection I have with that person, is a friendship more than anything. It's always gonna be a friendship for me if I'm involving myself intimately with someone. That's the basis. That's the foundation of our connection, is friendship. So I don't think they would feel jealous about me having a certain amount of closeness with other friends, because I have the right to do so. Well, I was gonna ask you, have you ever had that? Because how many relationships have you been in?
One.
One relationship?
Yeah, I guess like it depends on your definition, but the girl I dated in college.
Y'all were dating?
Was like, that was like an actual relationship for months.
If you've had any examples of someone feeling threatened by like your close friendships, but you've only really been in one relationship. Okay, but
actually, I feel like it kind of worked the other way around. Me and her, we had broke up at the start of quarantine. Well, actually, I'm sorry. We broke up in October before quarantine, but we were trying to rebuild a foundation to make things work and to eventually get back into a relationship. And during quarantine, she was still in North Carolina. I was in Georgia. Come the new school year, so this is like August, September. She had got on Tinder and started looking for friends.
That's what they usually do.
But let me tell you, after we originally broke up, I had made a new friend who, she was so fucking weird. Her name was Monique. I had made a new friend, and they ended up accidentally meeting each other. And something in my spirit just told me, don't let these girls meet each other. And she was attracted to me, and she was trying to pursue me. Me and my ex weren't together, but I'm not like, I prefer not to really fuck with you like that. And she had made like extreme advances like after they met each other, because we had all hung out that night, and then like she had like taking me out of the room and was like trying to make out with me, and shit. It was just overwhelming. It was too much, and I didn't want to deal with it, and I put my foot down and stopped that shit. However, Monique, the girl, talked my ex into dating. And it started out okay at first, but then it got bad real fast, and I already knew what kind of girl she was. It was like literally like what I was just talking about with the Kodak shit. Yeah. Like you see energy behind people. You can see like something holding onto their shoulders. Like it was some shit like that. And she was really weird. And she was really bad. She was a really bad liar. A really bad liar. After a few days of them sneaking behind my back and hanging out, and it wasn't even that I was mad that they're hanging out. I was just upset. I was confused because I'm like, well, I thought we were all friends. Like, why can I not be invited to hang out? Like, what's wrong? And then they tried to gaslight me and make it seem like I was tripping, but I was always right. I knew what was going on. They just, instead of being real about it, they tried to sneak around, and then the girl ended up fucking over my ex. That shit was crazy. Damn. It actually got worse. Like, I'm gonna actually have to tell you off camera. It was insane. Like,
oh damn.
So yeah. But regardless, that happened. I was fed up with my ex for a minute, but then we started to try the friendship thing again. Come August, September of after all that happened, I went and visited my ex by surprise in North Carolina. Right after I left, she told me she had got on Tinder to make friends. She matched with a girl. We're going to call her Kayla. And the girl named Kayla actually was trying to pursue me before I met my ex. So this was like a minute. This was like a year, like before. And me and Kayla, we were cool. Like, we were cool. But like, eventually it got to the part, like, I used to do this thing where like, I would only want to be friends with people, and then they would like convince me into like
more
kissing. Yeah. But anyway, I felt pressure from that connection. Cut her off for my ex. So I ghosted the girl for my ex, and now they're friends. Now they're friends. I left you for her. Like, I'm not stupid. You about to do the same shit you did with Monique to me. And she's like, no, I'm not. Like, I don't understand why you're acting jealous. Like, gaslighting the Academy on some manipulative cancer shit. And then on Christmas Day, blocked me from absolutely everything and dropped off the face of the earth. Only way I knew she blocked me was because a mutual that me and her had that went to school with us sent me a screenshot of my ex and Kayla like hugged up in the mirror on her Instagram and was like, did you know about this?
Wait, your ex had relations with Kayla and Monique?
Yes. It was like she had a thing. And then it was weird because I was asking her before. I was like, why did you match with Kayla? Like, why do you want to be her friend? Like, that's kind of weird. And she was like, well, you kind of vouched for her character a lot. You said she was a really good person. And I'm having a hard time making friends. So I want to only be surrounded with good people and you said she's a nice person. Gaslighting.
Well, what did you want her to say? You wanted her to just be real about...
Well, I would have preferred, it was just, I would have preferred that she would have been straight up about it. And I would have preferred that she not kept going after bitches that liked me first. Like, that's weird. That's my main issue. Why are you only attracting girls you know? I told you that Monique tried to make out with me in the hallway. I told you that she been oogling me this entire semester.
Not
oogling me this entire semester, and now you're letting her live with you? Like,
damn.
What are you talking about? And then I'm like, I left Kayla for you. Why would you? Does this not have resentment? Y'all are weird. Like,
where's your resentment?
Like,
that is weird. Like, what is the intentions? I wanted to say about like marriage being prioritized over friendships. Yeah. Which is an outdated concept, and marriage is gonna subside a little bit.
It already is.
It already is. I would say I have a friend who got married. A girlfriend who I was close with, and we had a very close friendship. You know, she was my best friend more than anything, but we had our
rendezvous.
Thank you. Way in the past, 5 years ago, and at the end of last year, we rekindled our friendship after not talking for like 2 years or whatever, and we were just being friends. There wasn't anything happening. We were very close, you know. We had a different type of friendship that was more close than the average friendship, but at the same time there was still a boundary there and nothing was taking place, and she was involved with this girl that she met on Tinder that's in the military, and she really
it's always a girl in the military.
Military and marriage is just suspicious. Bro, it's already suspicious. Military is bad enough, and then so anyway, I ended up getting cut off because they were going to get married, and her girlfriend in the military was actually very insecure about me having that type of connection with. I just got cut off by someone who's really close to me because...
This was recently?
This was beginning of this year.
And this is still, she's not talking to you?
Yeah, I have to be completely avoided. I mean, she'll exchange a message with me, but I can't be seen in person because it's just like... Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird. And she's like a part of our friend group, and she's not even around because she's married and she made that commitment.
How old is she?
Oh, I mean, how old am I?
No, I know how old you are, but how old is she?
I don't know.
Because I'm like, what kind of young person bullshit?
23?
Okay, that's, yeah.
23?
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just like, she can't be a part of the creative link-ups that we're having with her friend group because I'm in the friend group, you know, and... Yeah, she chose to be married and had to establish that boundary. Some people want to love with structure, I guess. Does that make sense to you? People loving with structure,
they gotta establish having boundaries, but not ones that are like excessive.
Exactly.
Some shit I feel is excessive.
Yeah. So it sounds a little
That sucks.
Controlling to me.
No, that is definitely controlling.
I think she's the role of being submissive. That's what I was told. I'm submissive, so it's like
I'm submissive.
Yes, I'm the submissive. Yeah,
that's weird.
It's very weird.
That's weird to say for your self-proclaim that.
It should be equal. It should be a balance. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I was removed, and I was like, damn. I know I'm not doing that. That's the disclaimer. That's not happening. No one.
Yeah.
Don't come around here thinking you're about to tell me who I can't hang out with. Either you trust me or you don't trust me.
Yeah.
It's that simple. I
don't know. I feel like this was a healthy conversation. Interesting dialogue.
I think so.
Like I said, I'll leave the link to the article we were referring to in the description box down below. Also, I'll leave his social media links in the description box down below as well. Add to this conversation because I like hearing other people's perspectives on these kinds of things. I feel like no matter what I talk about, Christianity always comes into the mix. It's very funny. It has to. In every way. But yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, same as always. And you guys will see me in the next video.